Sports Couple. Today we have with us West St. John coach, former West St. John player, Derron Thomas. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
How you doing, Miss Laura and Coach Marty? How's everything?
We're good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy to have you. I know we're a couple of games into the season. We'll talk about that. But I want to talk about you a little bit. Did I cover you when you played at West St. John?
Yes, you did. You come at East St. John as well.
Yeah, okay. So you went to West St. John first and then East St. John, correct?
8th, 9th, and 10th, I was at West St. John. 11th and 12th grade, I was at East St. John. Me and Ryan.
Talk about that. Like, what made you switch?
Well, just a few different things. I mean, first, my parents were living in the place, and I was staying with my grandparents here on the East Bank. My younger sister was going into the 9th grade, and she was playing basketball at that time. East St. John had a really good girls basketball program, so parents wanted both of us to be in school together. Also, at that time, just was, at that moment, I always had big dream aspirations, and we kind of just felt that the ultimate goals that I wanted for myself, we just felt that at East St. John may have offered a better opportunity to kind of get me onto that exposure on a national level, recognition-wise, and it did it. It was the initial transition was rough. I didn't actually want to do it initially, but, my parents kind of saw the bigger picture than I did that young of thinking, but it actually worked out for me better. I ended up receiving a football scholarship to the University of Miami. I was 2-time 5A first team All-State, All-Metro, Super Prep All-American, All-District, all of pretty much every accolade that you can receive for being a solid student athlete. I received all of those, and like I said, I ended up ultimately getting the dream off of my life was at the University of Miami, which is always my childhood favorite team. So to receive a scholarship offer from them and actually be able to play collegiate football at the college that you grow up loving and admiring your whole life, it was just pretty much a dream come true for me. So I was excited for that. And that's pretty much my story. I mean, now I'm here, love it here, love being back here. I'm back into year 3. We haven't started as high as we wanted to, but we're early into the year. We've really been pushing and working, getting this back going, and coming out here and executing a good practice weekend game plan, getting ready for Donaldsonville Friday.
So you opened with young artists, young audiences, like last year we were like, where are they from? And they turned out to be a pretty good football team, yes?
Yes, they're a pretty good team, man. Coach Dennis Christopher, he does a good job with those guys. We graduated high school together. He played football at Oregon State. He did a good group. They're on the West Bank and Gretna, Algiers area, so they get a lot of those kids who may not get into Landry or don't go to Landry Walker or maybe don't get in a car. So they're in a football-rich area to where they got some guys over there who are some pretty solid kids. I mean, we let that one slip away. We were winning 18 points at halftime, and in the second half, we came out too flat, and they simply just outplayed us in the second half, and they ended up beating us by 2 points. So that was how week 1 went for us.
Do we want to talk about last week?
Yeah, last week, same thing. That's a really quality opponent. They've been in the state championship the past 2 years, and this year they're probably going to be either in the championship or competing for a championship for a 3rd consecutive year. Run a good program. We just didn't come out ready to play like we thought we would have. For a couple of things to go out way early. We had too many penalties to start off the first drive, and it kind of just trickled effect on into every other possession of the game, and they just outplayed us. I mean, hats off to those guys. They had it ready to play. I had to have my guys better prepared to play that game, so that's why we acknowledge that. We'll just regroup and get ready for this week versus Donaldsonville.
Coach, I did get to see a little bit of that game afterwards. Yesterday I watched some of it, and you're big up front. You got some good-looking kids.
Yeah, we do. We're not lacking in size. We have what it takes over here. We have talent across the board, offense and defensive side of the ball. We have skill position, offense, defense side of the ball. We just have to put everything together. I got some new coaches in. Everything is just gelling. We're meshing everything together, mixing with the kids, and it just all has to keep cooking. So I tell our group it's like a pot of gumbo. You add in all your different ingredients and spices and sauces, and it just keeps brewing. Sometimes you have it on a slow cooker, on a crock pot, and then sometimes you have to burn it up at 1,000 degrees, where right now, for us to be able to Just keep on working together. The kids are engaged. The kids are we still know the task is at hand. We're letting the guys know we need to be 1-0 this week, but we can still bet our goal. We want a top 4 seed in the playoffs. We want a district championship, and all of those things are still that step. We telling the guys we went out. All of the things that we want they're still there for us at the hole. So we're not gonna let these first 2 losses deter our season. We have a lot of season left. We still got 8 games to go. Take it one at a time. We win each week. We finish out this season. We can go 8-2, and we'll be good to go.
You as well as you get ready, your numbers over the last couple of years have grown. Tell us about that.
Yeah, when I first got here, we started off, we were dressing out anywhere from 23 to 25 players per game. Now we have 43 kids in the program. So we've grown that number up by almost double, by 40, we've had a 40% increase. So just being able to get the numbers up, it just kind of shows that we're doing some things in a positive direction and light. We have some trust from our parents, the community, the parish, our administration. Everybody's been doing a good job as far as returning the corner on what the expectations are of West St. John, trying to bring it back to where it was in the glory days, and that's where we are now. We're in the transition period that we're doing everything that we can do in our power to get this thing rolling as fast as possible.
What it's like to coach at your alma mater? Is it difficult? Is it awesome? What is it like?
I love it. I mean, it's great to do being from this community. So we having a lot of family members here and friends here and classmates and people who you went to school with, grew up with, people who are older who you may have. I remember looking at. So I got some parents who, when they were in school, I was a little kid coming to the game watching them play. So it's real. And it's a good feeling now to where now I'm put into this leadership role to uplift the community because sports here is everything.
Yeah.
Sports is thing. So as the sport increases, the school increases, the community increases, and that's the goal. That's what we have with it. Got a good group of young men here to build with. Got a good school administration to build with. Our school board administration, everyone is in support of what we're trying to do, and they've been big help. And now being in my 3rd year, everything is starting to ease itself down to where now we're just trying to just get it, like I said, get this thing going and get these streets rolling as fast as possible.
Well, it's awesome again because there's great tradition at West St. John. It has been for years. I remember when she was covering out there and how much fun she used to have coming out there. So
Wings.
It's great to see it come back.
Yeah, most definitely. We had the crowd. The crowd Friday against St. James was one of the more packed football games that I've been a part of on a high school level. So it was standing room only. I mean, the crowd really came out. It was a lot of support from both teams. I wish we would have came out. I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Did the train roll through the end zone during the game?
I think the train did roll into the end zone, but to be honest, look, I couldn't even hear the train. I was so focused on get us some coaching and points up on the board. My offensive coordinator and get with my defensive coordinator, making sure we calling the right plays and having the right. I don't even remember the train, the band. I don't remember anything except the football game in the crowd. And I smelled the food, but I didn't eat it.
Coach, one of the things. Oh, they brought it in after, I'm sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
We want to talk about let you talk about your team and your people and all the kids by name. Go ahead and why don't you give us start? We can start on offense if you want.
We can start up front. I mean, up front, we got 3 seniors. We have a Kiwan Fobb, Tim Coleman, and DeMarcus Turley. DeMarcus and Tim, they're 4-year starters. Kiwan Fobb is a 3-year starter, and he had to sit out his freshman year. My skill position wise, I mean, I have Chance Boway. He's a free safety and receiver. He made first team All-State as a free safety last year. Shakira Milton is a returning first team All-District performer. Jace Farnell, he's a jack of all trades. I mean, Jace Farnell, he was a quarterback last year. He playing quarterback this year, but he's also our starting wide receiver. He's arguably our best defensive back, nickel, cornerback. He's the long snapper. He's the kickoff specialist. He does a lot for us. Jace is one of the more important kids. So he's been doing a good job of the role, the Swiss Army knife role that he's in. And I have sophomore Kalen Gardner. He's a returning starter. He was a first team all district performer last year. He was honorable mention all state as a freshman last year. He has a bright career ahead. Have Aubrey White and Pierre Bauer. They're two other sophomores. They're on the offensive line as well. I have Ashton Barnes, who's our quarterback this year as well. He got an injury against St. James, so we're still praying and hoping that he'll be healthy and available to go this week. But he's another kid who's been doing a lot of work, getting his footing down and just working through some kinks and getting everything good across the board. And then on defensively, like I said, Chance Bove, Jace Farner, they're two-way guys. Well, they play everything because they're on special teams as well. But you have Cornell Narcisse. Cornell is another defensive back. He's committed to University of Millsaps. He's a very smart kid. He has a 24 in his ACT test. So Millsaps is going to be where he's going to play his next collegiate level football. Have Zakiron Howard at linebacker. Have Terry Fonberry at linebacker. Zakiron, his older brother, is a former West St. John quarterback and Southern University quarterback, Austin Howard.
Oh, yeah.
That's Zakiron's older brother.
Okay.
We have on defensive line, I got Xavier Poche at defensive end. We have Kiwan Fobb. He's another two-way guy. Tim Coleman is a two-way guy. You got Nishawn Clayton. But I also have a freshman. Nishawn is injured. He got injured in St. James as well. But another name for people to look out for will be a freshman by the name of Kenjon Weber. He's a ninth grader. He'll be starting. He'll be taking the reins at defensive end this week. We got a lot of trust and faith in Kenjon. He's been having a really, really good season, fall camp, summer thus far. So we're just trying to stay on top of him and let those baby years kind of break out of him fast, because we're telling him here as a ninth grader, if you're a guy, we have high expectations for you. So, just another name to keep an eye on. And, like I said, that's enough. We got enough talent. We got a good mixture of seniors with the younger nucleus that we have to really have a quality program and have a quality season, and not really get an opportunity to not let one or two games kind of just derail everything that we've built thus far. And like I said, we've been here before. We're telling the guys the first state championship was St. John won. My older brother was on that team. They started off 0-3, and they won state that year. On the 2018, they lost in the state championship to South Plaquemine. They started off 0-4, and they won state championship that year. St. James beat them 44-0 that year, and they still were able to recover and bounce back and get a playoff run and make it to the state championship. So these are the things that we're telling to our kids, just not going into the tank off of one or two bad games or a few mistakes here and there. We got a lot of time to recover and regroup, but it'll start this Friday versus Donaldsonville.
When you're a 1A school, you and your numbers are smaller than the 5As. You get some guys that play early. And that's one of the best things about going to a small school is those freshmen get a chance to play and go. But you got a lot of 2A guys too, and that's always like that. I know you all are in the district with Riverside, and they're doing the same thing over there. They've got 2 or 3 guys that are playing both ways.
Yes, well, we got 4. We got 4 that start off both ways. Now, we do a little mixture with them, but Chance and Jace, for the most part, they don't come off the field. So that's kind of the biggest thing for them. Look, you wanted to be anointed with this talent and attention that you have. Well, with that comes the responsibility. So you have to find a way to stay in shape and stay on the field. We don't have a lot of quality backups that can replace those guys when they're not in the game. So we tell those 2 individuals, especially, like, y'all are kickers and punters and everything. So we always mess with them jokingly. You don't get to get hurt. Like, it's not like you can control it, but we tell them you're not allowed to get hurt. You're not allowed to come out. You have to suck it up. You have to be a big dog and just get in shape and just be ready for whatever comes your way, because we're throwing a lot at those kids, but they're doing a good job adjusting to it and taking on that leadership role that we're giving to them.
Conditioning is very important for you guys, and I know I've covered a couple of games where, especially in August, September, it's tough. How do you handle that? What's your secret?
Well, one of our secrets, we try to just pickle juice is one secret. Hydrating during the week, and then just doing conditioning every day. Just making sure that we're doing running, trying to have good practice habits, running to the ball, off the ball, on the field, off the field, transitions after practice. Just getting them tired in practice. So once you're tired in the game, it's come second nature. Like we tell them, part of playing this game is you have to learn how to play tired. Because the reality is when you're not coming off the field or if you're on the field giving it 110% max effort every time, you're going to get tired. But the trying of a dog is what happens when you get tired, because we're still going to expect you to perform the same way, tired or not tired. So we don't like to use that as an excuse. You just have to fight for it and get better.
And don't let them use it as an excuse. That's a great way of putting that. So as you go forward, I mean, you got to talk a little bit about district. If you want, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Well, before we get to district, we got Donaldsonville this week.
Yep.
And we play against Homer Christian. We play against them at home, and then we go to travel to East Iberville. And after East Iberville, we start our district schedule. We have Varnado. They have a new coach over there. And those guys, they're going to be ready and prepared. It was always a good game. We play against Varnado. They come to us this year. Then we play Riverside. We travel to Riverside. And we go to St. Martin's comes to us for our senior day. And then we travel back to Crescent City and we travel to Centerville to finish out our season. But our district is going to always be tough, Riverside in your district, St. Martin's in your district. Even though they lost Harlan Berry at St. Martin's, but they're going to always, Coach Kevin Dyser, he's doing a solid job with that group over there. He'll have them prepared and ready to play, so we just have to be able to match that intensity. And then Riverside, that stuff is mandatory. I mean, we know we've been playing Riverside here at West St. John for the last 40 years, 50 years. So that's going to always be a quality game. A lot of wins and losses both ways in that game. The last few years they've been getting the better of us, but this is a new year. Like I said, we'll be ready to play those guys. We have a lot of motivating going into that game. Vol goals is playing. That could potentially be a district championship game right there. And then more big thing, we travel to Riverside, but the guys, they have us for their homecoming. So, we take offense to that. You making us we're gonna have to come in and once we get to that time, we'll have to spoil that party.
Well, it sounds like you got it rolling, and it's so good to see you all back and playing well. Look, it's been a while, and we're looking forward to West St. John being a factor. We have a little stake in Edgard ourselves, since our daughter is the librarian down on the river.
In Edgard, yep.
In Edgard.
Okay.
So if anybody needs homework help, tell them to go see Laura.
I will definitely let them know that. I'll have to go see Laura myself.
Go ahead, yes.
She's been over there for a few years.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Yes, she does.
Okay. Great, good deal.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Sorry we got you a little late, but hey, late is better than never, right?
Thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate that. Look, we go back a lot of years, so look, yes. I'm glad that we still have that relationship to be able to still reach out and come on the show. If you need me for anything, I'm more than always available to help you guys with that in any capacity.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
Okay. Take care.